Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally, and in today's video we are going to make awesome farmhouse items, home decor and such from old clothes and some cloth hanging around. Everybody's got some. So number one were a couple of these little tote bags that came with produce and some drop cloth. I have so much drop cloth. So I went ahead and I cut a pocket, ironed it, and took out my Gorilla Glue sticks for my hot glue gun, and my IOD stamps, and some ink to go ahead and stamp on a pocket to cover up the logo or what have you that came on the tote bag. So I used the Tim Holtz sepia colored stamp stamped on the drop cloth pocket, and then I went ahead and I went through my laces and other embellishments to see what I could come up with to make this cute. It needed a little something more, so one of those dresses in that pile had this pretty button. I grabbed some string and I went ahead and just embellished that. Now this pocket actually works. You can put something in the front of this pocket because it had that nice sturdy edge from the drop cloth. But on to project number 2. I used another one of these tote bags, did the same process, but this time I just took some gingham check and didn't make a pocket. I just glued the entire thing down. And then if you remember the other day, I had inked with the IOD stamps in Icy Paris and some of the other ones on drop cloth. I just used one of those that I had already cut out and put it on top and embellished that bag. And just because I had ended up with 3 tote bags, I did all 3. Same process using the chicken stamp, and I think this one came out really cute. So if you have any tote bags, especially if they have that marketing on it that you don't like, so easy to cover that over, and how cute. So now we're on to something different with number 4. Now this is rather similar. I had shopped at Magnolia Market and received this little tiny drawstring bag, and I thought, oh, that would be just so cute. So I followed the same process and embellished that with some tags and some of the other things that I had stamped on, and I kept the magnolia on the other side, but I thought that looked so cute in my kitchen with some of these other blue items. And now, number 5, I am going to make a pumpkin from this dress I picked up in Puerto Rico a few years back because the elastic had given way on the neck. And so the poofy sleeve gave me the idea that it would make a really cute pumpkin. So I pulled out a needle and thread, cut off the sleeve, and then I went ahead and bunched up the small side of the sleeve to make a bottom to my pumpkin, and just kind of passed the needle back and forth until I had that together. And then I glued the seam, the armpit area that I had cut from the dress, so that I would close that seam and have a little pouch. Then I pulled out some fiber fill. I picked mine up at Joann's Fabric. I get a really big box of it, inexpensive. Filled that, and then I still had the top open, which was where the base of the sleeve would be. And then I went through my spindle stash. My husband had cut a few for me, and I glued in a pumpkin stem, so to speak, so that that would look like the top of a pumpkin. And then I took some heavy cord that I had, and I made the ribs of the pumpkin, just going back and forth and twisting it around the top, and then pulled out some stain that I had that would match the top where my husband had cut. And then here it is. I think it came out adorable, and you might recognize what it is sitting on top of from my recent dump haul. I love those little candlestick holders. They came out so cute. So on to number 6. I decided to go ahead and use that same process for some old drop cloth fabric that I had. So I went and cut a square, frayed the edges, and then took out the fiber fill and just filled that like a little bag full of fiber fill, and then tied the string around the top that had come off of the dress, because I loved the color for one, and because it had a cute couple of little buttons or little things on the bottom, wooden things. And so that had to be undone so I could remember to put the stem in. So I glued the stem in and did that again, and love the green spindle that I had for this one. So I think I clipped off some of the excess fabric so you could see more of the stem, but I thought that came out awesome, and it just gathered itself so I didn't have to make any ribs. And here it is with the other one. And then for the final pumpkin, number 7, I have this old white pair of capris. I cut the pant leg off, and I cut the cuff off, and I just had the not really a pocket, but the leg, piece of the leg. So I went ahead and I used my glue gun to just gather here and there, pinching inside out one edge of that so that I would have a bottom. And once I turned it right side out, I would be able, here's the bottom gathered, I would be able to fill that little pouch with the fiber fill. So you can see how that's a bit of a pant leg there. And then I took the bathing suit cover up I had gotten in my dump haul recently and cut the top part of that where it was stained, cut off the stain. And then I did the same process, but this time I gathered with a needle and thread instead of glue, because, well, lace and glue means burned fingers for one thing, but also it's just easy to run a needle and thread through that, pull that tight, and then flip that around and make another pouch. So I didn't want to just fill the lace with fiber fill because you'd be able to see it through it. So that way I put the white pant leg inside the top of the bathing suit cover up. And then once I stuffed that, I had 2 pouches. And then I gathered and glued the top, and then took another piece of spindle and glued that right to the jean fabric until I had a pretty good hold on that. And then once that was good and on there, I went and put the lace fabric on top and took some more raffia type string, ran that through the top of the lace so that I could gather that together around the stem and still have a little bit left over at the top. And then once that was done, I liked it. I put it up with the others. Oh, remembered that I had to stain the top again of this one where it had been cut. Thankfully, that's the exact same color stain, so that worked out good. And I put it with the other 2, and I really like it. I thought it was adorable, but I did think it needed some ribs. So I went and found some white baker's string, I guess you would say, in my stash too, because although this had some cute gathers, I just kind of thought it was a little big and needed to be kind of pushed down or squeezed in, or however you would call that when you add the ribs. So grabbing that baker's string, I just kind of wrapped it around the top, down, under, wrap, down, under, wrap, until that was hidden underneath. And I like the way it came out. It's probably not as noticeable to you, but I like it better that way. And then for number 8, my final project of the day, I had made a pillow from that drop cloth. We all know how to cut 2 pieces of fabric in rectangle, sew them and stuff them, so you don't need me to tell you how to make a pillow. But I did embellish that with some burlap ribbon and some lace and a few other little items that I had hanging around in my craft room, and I thought it just came out so cute. Pillow with a little pocket. So I hope you like this video. If you do, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and I would love a comment as to which was your favorite item. And I thank you for stopping by.